Hey guys, how are you all doing? Mwah! It is I, Lady A. First of all, I just want to say a big shout out to all of the people who are on YouTube, regularly. You guys are doing YouTube reality shows and YouTube talk shows and all these other things. I remember when I first got started doing YouTube, there weren't that many of us talk people out there who would just sit in the camera and talk, and now there are tons of us out there. So that is pretty cool and awesome. So Saranghae, I just wanted to send a little love to you guys. Some of you all have just really been taking YouTube by storm, and I'm just like, y'all better do it. Do it. So today's video is going to be much like last week's video. Last week we talked about success and post-success and what happens after success. And as you all know from last week's video, I've had to basically rebrand myself and rebrand what it means to be Lady A. Now that I'm not living in Korea, how do we revamp and redo this? And that was a really hard process to go through. And so I think that in life, we all have to revamp. There is some point where each of us and all of us have to say, okay, what's happening and how can I redo this? What type of life do I want for myself, and how can I get there? What type of person do I want to be? And so in that rebranding and in that new approach to life, we have to, process some things and work them out. And so that's kind of really where I am still. And I think that that's a part of life. That's an intricate part of life that we can't negate. We can't forget, hey, listen, as I'm growing, as I'm maturing, I'm changing based on my life, based on my experiences, based on the traumas that I've endured, based on the joys that I've had. All of those things go into making us who we are. And so taking those things in and processing them helps us to become the best version of ourselves at each and every area and kind of check mark place in our lives. So today I wanted to talk about 5 things that we can quit doing right now. When I say we, I mean myself as well, because this is a list that you can always put to good use. There are tons more, but I want to talk about 5 today, right? So 5 things that you can quit. In my Korean, ande. 5 things you can quit that will help you to have a successful life. And when I say success, I mean holistic success, not just with jobs and money, because success is so much bigger than money, right? And you can have success without money. So I'm talking relationships, I'm talking family and how you deal with your family. I'm talking like how you see yourself, how you view yourself, going after your dreams. Every step of that can be successful. And so here are 5 things that we can do, each of us, at every leg of the journey to ensure our success, or at least to ensure that we're on the correct path to success. And when done well, most definitely will you reach your destination, okay? So number 1, I'm reading from off of over there because I didn't want to hold it in my hand. So number 1 would be stop thinking about it. We have to quit thinking about it. I know, as an adult living with ADHD, and that's a whole other video, right? And I'm sure that you guys have probably guessed that by now. But when you have a thought, it's like, oh, that's a good idea, or that's something I might want to do, or I'm kind of passionate about that. Don't just keep thinking about it. Don't just leave it out there in thought land. Oh, well, maybe I could open my own coffee shop. I like coffee. Perhaps I could do it. Oh, yeah, I kind of was clicking on different interiors I'd like to have in my coffee shop if one day I ever did it. But if you only ever think about it and you're not actually putting action to that thought, it's only ever going to be a thought. Thoughts that are unpursued are simply dreams. Dreams are things that only exist in the space of our mind. We want to take those thoughts and make them reality. We want to bring them from the dream scope into real life, right? So if you have a thought that plagues you in your sleep, you wake up with it, things remind you of it throughout the day, that is probably the universe pulling on you to step into your own, to step into something that you've been called to purpose to do. And so using our coffee shop example, if you feel like you really want to open a coffee shop, you always have this thought of, opening a coffee shop. You got to research. Where do you want to open it? How much does it generally cost to open a coffee shop? What kind of coffee are you going to sell? How are you going to advertise? These are questions that you may not have the answer to, but at least if you go from just the idea to thinking and doing action and doing research, I promise the universe will answer. I promise. You will meet somebody randomly that'll say, hey, I really love coffee. You know anywhere I can sell them? Oh, I'm trying to open a coffee shop. How cool is that? Literally every single avenue of my life that I consider successful, that I am on the path to success. And that is exactly how it has happened. It has been something that I thought about. I wrote it down. Then I started to do research, and upon research and going places and networking, I was able to connect with some really amazing people right in that vein. And they were able to not only connect with me, but not only support me, but also point me in the right direction. So those thoughts began to manifest. And now I am enjoying these multiple avenues of good. And I just want to say good because I mean, it's not perfect, but the journey itself is good. You guys, I left my ring off. I feel naked. Okay. I'm back in action. All right. So number one was stop thinking about it. Quit thinking about it. Get out of your thoughts. Get out of your own way. Go ahead and put some headway to that. Go ahead and make some moves. I promise you, someone will meet you along the way to help you get to the next part of your journey. Number two. We want to stop comparing our lives to others. I know that in the age of social media where it's important to post and we take the perfect selfie and we, want to make sure that we've got the best lighting and all of these things, all of that is great. All those things are amazing. Go for it. Knock yourself out. I know I like a nice looking picture of myself, right? But if we continually look at these snapshots of people's lives, that's not telling us a whole story. It's just a snapshot. I don't know that, this person had to go through surgery and blah, 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 and blah, 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 just to get that picture that you're double tapping on, right? So when we assume to know the whole story behind a snapshot, we then do ourselves a disservice to compare our entire life to someone else's snapshot. Do you guys get what I'm saying? And I had to stop doing that. Especially when building a company, because you meet people who are really successful in business and they're like, oh yes, I do this and I wake up when I want to. I choose to wake up to make more money. Like you meet people like that and you're like, what am I doing? Maybe I should start sleeping till 10. Wait, no, you got research to do. You have connections to make. You have meetings. What are you talking about? So you have to just really be careful not to compare yourself to someone else's snapshot. It may look really good at that moment, but you don't know what happened before and after the click. Right? But here's the thing. You are an expert in your own life. You know if you're putting out your best. You know if you are being wise about your financial decisions. You know if you have started something that is sinking quickly. Get off the boat. It doesn't matter that somebody else stayed on the boat and then they ran into somebody who gave them $1 million and it was great. That's wonderful, but that might not be your story. So be the expert in your own story and stop comparing yourself to others. It just ends in detriment every single time. That goes for relationships. We see squad goals or relationship goals, and those things are good on social media. That's great. You should visualize what you want. But at the end of the day, if your man isn't 6'6" Adonis, I mean, it's okay though, because your 5'5" is holding you down. It's taking care of you. It's about his business and making sure that you live life like the best queen that you can afford, right? So be thankful in those things. Be cherish those things and be grateful. Stop comparing, guys. Stop comparing. Here's the thing. No two people on the planet are alike because we all have different journeys. So for me to compare myself to you and then try to live up to your standards without having your journey, I'm already set up for failure. But what I can do is compare myself today to who I was yesterday. And I can compare myself to who I want to be in the future. And then I can be about my business of doing that. All right. So number 3 is let's quit taking others for granted. I am so guilty of this. I mean, just transparent moment. I am so very guilty of this. Listen, when there are people who are going out of their way to support you, there are people who are making it their business to show up for you, making it easier for you to do what you do. You have got to say thank you. And I don't just mean saying, oh, thanks for showing up. I mean, truly take a moment to figure out how to let them know that they are appreciated. Because when you don't appreciate people, they eventually wear out. They get burnt out. It's like, what is the purpose? What is the point? I know for my mom, she is like, like ride or die, like true story for me, and has always been. No matter what I was going through, no matter where I was living, no matter what country I was in, no matter what I was, whether I was in a high moment of success or in a valley of I don't know what I did wrong, God, but clearly I missed something. My mom has always been a constant, but I make sure that I let her know, you are amazing. I call her Umi. I'm like, Umi, you are amazing. Like, amazing. I could not do these things without you. When things happen, I always dedicate things to my mom. My dad also is amazing. I do things out of the way for them because I want them to know I see your sacrifice and I appreciate it. Here's the thing, folks. When you appreciate someone and show them that you're grateful, it makes them want to go over and beyond what they've already committed to do. That's the thing. And here's the other side of that. It pushes you to go even further, to be even better. Like, man, my parents did so-and-so for me, or my boyfriend did this, or my husband did this, or my kids did this for me. I'm going to definitely wow them. I'm going to definitely take it to the next level. I'm going to definitely make them proud of me. That is, it's a great exchange. It's the law of reciprocity. That's the word I wanted. It's the law of reciprocity. So let's stop taking each other for granted. Let's stop taking those people who are supposed to be an enriching part of our community. People who look like me, yeah. Let's stop taking them for granted just because, well, that's a whole other rant. I'm sorry. It is, and I'm gonna to the left here a little bit. It has been very hard for me to focus on the things that I need to do because the world is in such just a disarray. Not just our country. They're going through total just like chaos in the majority countries in the world. And because I am a person who really enjoys culture, I'm quite cosmopolitan. I hear about these things. I hear about Muslims being attacked by Buddhist monks in Burma. Like, what? That is crazy to me. We as people of color are being slaughtered. I mean, we've always been. I don't think that the violence has increased. I think social media has increased, and now we see it. What people of color have always known, what we've always lived with, it is now becoming, it's starting to seep out for others to see our truth. And so now there's an unrest because other people are uncomfortable. I saw a meme that said that we're not trying to start a race war. We're actually trying to end it, which is true. But that's a whole other video. So anyway, with all the things going on, I just found it very difficult to, sell my book and talk about my book and do promo and go on these book tours. Of course, I'm expected to be there. So I do go and I do turn on and I do make sure that I'm fulfilling my kingdom purpose. But I would be lying if I said that it was difficult to do in the things that are happening. And so, why am I talking about that? I don't even know how I got on that subject. So anyway, back to where I was talking about videos and making videos. So it's been very hard for me to get back into the flow of things with everything that's going on because I really want to be an advocate. I want to scream. I want to kick, fight, punch, all of that. Love, hug, all of that is emanating from me at all the time. So, but I think it's important that once we know what we're supposed to do, we stick to that no matter what. Whether it's making a video, whether it's, letting people know that you appreciate them. We have to stick with that by any means necessary, right? Okay, so let me get back on track here because that was a total to the left, but I had to get that out so that I can go on and do what I'm supposed to be doing, which is this video right now. So definitely you want to let people know that you appreciate them because, when we don't appreciate one another, regardless of the color of your skin, when I don't appreciate you, when I don't appreciate what your gifts and talents are, what your job is, even when I don't appreciate that, and vice versa, when you don't appreciate me, things don't work. Because I don't want to work for people who are ungrateful. I don't want to work for people who take advantage of me. I don't want to support people who I know that I'm not going to get the support back, right? So let's definitely quit taking each other for granted. Number 4 would be putting everyone else before yourself. We have got to quit this, people. I don't know who started this mentality that that's what humility is, or that's what being humble is always putting everybody else's. That is not at all what that means. And so we have got to get to a point where we stop finding validation and devaluing ourselves. Those things are oxymoronic. You can't devalue to be validated. That doesn't work. So how do you make yourself validated? How do you make yourself valuable? Get in your lane and stay there. I am humble enough to say, travel empowerment, travel platforms, speaking, that's my lane. That's my lane. Writing, that's my lane. But I'm humble enough to say, now there are a list of things that I cannot do and I will not do, because that's not my lane. That's not what I'm good at, right? And so when I am clear about what I've been called to do in doing that, I can remain humble in saying, oh, actually, I'm not good at that. Let me focus on this. That's what real humility looks like. I do my craft well, and I stay in my lane because I respect your craft enough to know, I don't need to step in your lane. I don't need to try and do what you're doing, because I can't do what you're doing, because that's not my lane. This is my lane. That's real humility. Taking the time to not be boastful. Oh, well, I can do it all, pride. That's staying away from that is what humility looks like. Humility does not mean, and being humble and meek and all that, that does not mean letting people walk all over you. That does not mean becoming someone else's doormat. That certainly does not mean that you allow people to use you and you now go lacking. Here's a prime example of one of the things whenever I'm doing life coaching sessions with people, I'm always able to say, or a counseling session, I'm always able to say, let's use a mom, right? For example, if you're a mom and you're constantly giving to everybody, the husband, your kids, your grandkids, your job, your church, your neighborhood watch, I don't know, you are PTA, you're constantly giving, right? What happens when your child needs mom at 100%? You don't have anything to give. What happens when husband wants to have some one-on-one time 100% with his awesome wife? And you repeatedly give him half of you, or part of you, or 30% of you. He's going to want the other 70% from somewhere. I'm just going to leave that there. He's going to want that 70, because that's what he signed up for. He signed up for you at 100%. Your kids are expecting 100%. The things that you connect yourself to are expecting you at 100%. So we have got to stop putting everyone else's needs in front of ours. At some point, you have to stop and say, you know what? I can do that for you, not today. I can do that for you, but not right now. Let me get an hour. Let me get 2 days to kind of mull over how I want to approach this, instead of breaking and craning my neck trying to do it right now just because you asked me to. You can't be all things to all people, although the scripture talks about that we should be all things to all people. It is not the context that the scripture is referring to. So I really want us to have some creative choices of saying no. Meaning, if you are tired and there is something that someone's asking you to do in addition that doesn't really benefit you, they just want you to do it because they need you to do something, you can say no. Be creative about how you say no. Well, I would be able to do that. However, if I did that, X, Y, and Z. So I'm thinking that I'm probably going to have to pass on this one, but hit me up the next time. It's a creative way to say no. Well, I would love to participate in so and so and so and so, but I've already committed myself to something else. I won't be able to do it. What are you committed to? Yourself. You have got to keep self-preservation in the front of your mind. We need you. We need you. We need you at 100%. Your family needs you. Your spouse needs you. Your job needs you. Whatever you can call it. The universe needs you at 100%. And if you are a believer, the things that God has called you to put your hands to, you can't function at half. You can't function at half mast. That is not how that works. So I want everyone to quit putting everyone else's needs in front of your own all the time, to the point that you're burnt out, because you're not really fooling anyone but yourself when you feel like, oh, I'm so tired, but I'm going to do it just to get it done and they won't know. No, we know you're sloppy and it's messy and it's not cute. So you have to make the choice for self-preservation. You have to make the choice to be the best version of yourself at all times, and that's going to require you to say no. So let's quit putting everyone else's needs in front of our own. There's got to be balance. There's got to be boundaries. That's a video. There's got to be boundaries. Actually, I think I did a video about boundaries. There's got to be boundaries if you want to be effective in living life and doing anything. that's, you can't pour out energy you don't have. You guys have a cell phone, y'all know, or maybe it's just me. I'll be scrolling for Instagram and it's like my battery will blink like 15% warning. I'm like, I'm still scrolling. 10% warning, I'm still scrolling. 5% warning, I'll plug it up in a minute because it's still letting me scroll, right? And then you look up and the battery's dead. Well, you knew it was dead when it counted you down at 15%, right? So we're expecting this phone to put out these images, to put out, this energy, this night light, whatever, while we're using it, but it's not plugged into any source. It's not at 100%. It's not going to give us what we need. And that's the same thing at life. You can't keep giving and letting people, take from you and take advantage of you. We can't keep doing that and expect to perform at 100%. It just doesn't work that way. So number 5, lastly for this video, is we have got to stop, which 5 and 4 are kind of connected. We have got to stop living out of balance and then expecting to be happy. It is going to be impossible for you to be happy if you are out of balance, meaning you are a workaholic, but you're expecting your home life to be great. You're not there. That's not how that works. One of the old people on the commercial, that's not how any of this works, right? When they're talking about sending things to the cloud. So, you can't always be at work and expect your family life to be amazing. It's not. It's going to be whack because you're missing, right? We can't do the opposite either. Well, I never do anything other than I'm always at home. I don't get dressed. I roll out of bed and I'm mom, and I'm just mom until someone stops calling my name as I go to sleep. No, that's not happiness either. That's functioning. So we want to live in a place where we are balanced so that we can not only live, we can live in abundance, and we can not just be functional, but be effective in what we do. So we have got to live in balance. If you really want to be happy, if you really want to have the keys to joy and all these other things, you have got to live in balance. Balance will require you to say no. Balance will also make you not only say no, but balance will also make you, what's the word I want to say while being respectful? Balance will cause you to separate yourself from people and things that don't honor who you are. Thanks, God. Because I did not want to be rude with that. So yes, balance will cause you to honor yourself by separating yourself from people who don't honor who you are. A balanced life doesn't include fake people. A balanced life doesn't include toxic people. A balanced life doesn't include takers. That's not balance. Balance says, I'm going to give you what I have to the point that it does not take away from me. When you begin to take away from me and I'm now depleted and I'm not able to replenish, I have to let go of you because I'm now out of balance. So we got to keep the life weight together, right? So those are the 5 things for today. Those are my tips for today. I hope that you've got something that's at least made you start thinking about doing things differently and venturing into your success in a global capacity. I always talk about living globally and being globally. Like I said, I'm at a conference in Tennessee talking about living and being globally, or living and being global in our thinking. But that starts at home. That starts within. I think about other cultures and I consider other cultures when I'm right here in North Carolina. I don't have to be on a plane or on a boat or in another country to do that. And so in that same regard, if we want to have success, if we want to be global and be awesome, there are things that we have to do internally that we have to master in order to live well, right? So just to recap those 5 things, if you're just tuning in. So number 1 was let's quit thinking about it. Number 2 was let's stop comparing ourselves to others. And number 3 was stop taking others for granted. And number 4 was let's quit putting everyone else's need in front of ours all the time. And lastly, number 5 was let's quit living out of balance and expecting to be happy, because we're just only going to frustrate ourselves over and over and over. We're going to disappoint ourselves and be overwhelmed with the process and the outcome of all the things that we've been working on. So at any rate, I hope that you guys had an amazing day, rest of your evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to Wednesdays with Lady A. I'm your gracious host, Lady A. You've been watching MKJ TV, and I love you guys. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye. Be sure to follow us at Lady A Global. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. The website, sheisladya.com. Be sure to get your book, Awesome Truths, Confessions of a Believer. It is at Amazon right now. You can do the bit.ly/Lady A Books to get your hard copy sent right to your front door from Amazon. So yeah, I hope you guys continue to be amazing. I hope you continue to soar. I hope you continue to go after your success and dreams. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys next week. Be sure to leave a line. Let me know what you think about it. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to share this video. And if you have a topic that you want me to talk about on the air, I'm so used to saying that in the radio booth. If you have a topic you want to talk about or want me to talk about here on the YouTube video, then absolutely message it to me. And also follow me on Periscope as well, which is also Lady A Global, or you can type in Avery Atkinson. Okay guys, I hope you are just doing wonderfully well, and I hope you continue to stay safe out there. Be wise. Have your emotions, but have your emotions with wisdom, okay? We need all of you to get home safely. We need all of you to stay alive. We need all of you to make this world go round. Mwah. Love you all. Take care. Bye.